Welcome to the deep dive. We're doing something a little different today.
A little different, yeah.
We're diving into a late-night talk show monologue.
That's right. Stephen Colbert's last show before the holidays.
We have the whole transcript and,
It's classic Colbert, you know.
yeah, sharp, witty, political.
Yeah. You ready to break it all down?
Oh, definitely. So, right off the bat, Colbert hits us with a potential government shutdown. The Republicans rejected a funding extension.
Right, and that's not just some political inside baseball, you know.
Right.
It can really affect people. National parks close, federal employees get furloughed,
Oh, right.
even things like food inspections.
Wow, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, it can be a big problem. And of course, Colbert, he had some fun with this.
I loved his bit about needing the government to tell us about drones.
Oh, yeah.
And that Elon Musk impression.
Oh, so good.
Spot on.
It's interesting, though, right?
Right.
Because this was when everyone's talking about Elon Musk, and Colbert even called him president at one point.
Yeah, right. Kind of like Musk was calling the shots.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you think, you know?
Definitely. And even if a shutdown didn't directly affect you, it still says a lot about, you know,
Why?
our political system.
Yeah.
If they can't even agree to keep things running,
Yeah.
what does that say about the big stuff?
So true. And from there, Colbert moves on to something else that was making headlines. The Matt Gaetz scandal.
Right. Drug use, sex trafficking allegations.
Ev stuff.
Yeah, serious accusations. Colbert jokes, that's why I don't do orgies.
Ah.
But really, this was a big deal.
Definitely. And the House Ethics Committee, they got involved, right?
They did. They investigated and actually found evidence to support the claims.
Wow.
But they voted to not release the report.
Oh, really?
Then they had a second vote, secret this time, and decided to release it. It was a whole thing.
Back and forth, huh? So what was in the report? We'll get to that later, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see what Colbert has to say about it.
Okay. So moving on from political drama, Colbert also talks about something that was really in the news then. The first severe human case of bird flu in the U.S.
Bird flu. Yeah, I was everywhere back then.
I remember it being a big deal, but can you remind me what was so important about this case?
Well, bird flu, or avian influenza, it mainly affects birds,
Right.
but it can jump to humans. In this case, this was the first severe human infection here in the U.S.
So that's why it was such a big deal?
Exactly. It had everyone worried about an outbreak.
Right. It seems like there's always some new virus to worry about.
Yeah.
But I remember Colbert's take on this. Officials were saying the risk to the public was low,
Right.
but everyone was freaking out anyway. I loved his bit about severe versus just a guy.
So good. But you know his joke about the all-goose pickleball league?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what really gets me.
Why?
Because it shows how we don't take things seriously until they affect us personally. You know, even the risk to most people was low. For people who work with birds or who are around birds a lot, the danger was real.
So like bird watchers and stuff?
Exactly. Or even just, you know, people feeding ducks at the park.
And it wasn't just a hypothetical thing either. California declared a state of emergency because of bird flu in cattle.
Yeah, it shows you how everything's connected. Human health, animal health, the environment.
It all comes back around.
Yeah. And with bird flu, there's always that worry that it could mutate.
Mutate.
Yeah, become easily transmissible between humans.
Yeah.
Then we could have a pandemic.
Not good. But okay, let's move on to something a little lighter. Colbert talked about the Charlotte Hornets holiday season blunder.
Oh, yeah. The PS5.
Ridiculous, right. They gave this kid a PS5 during a halftime show. Everyone's cheering.
But then they took it back.
When the cameras were off.
Can you believe that?
So messed up. I loved Colbert's jokes about how halftime shows are all a lie and that the cheerleader from a previous skit is probably Spink Alive.
Classic Colbert. But it does make you think, doesn't it? How much of what we see is real, you know, and how we can be manipulated so easily.
Yeah, good point. So the Hornets, they tried to make it up to the kid by giving him a jersey.
Yeah, but as Colbert said,
Not quite the same.
not even close.
Okay, let's go global now. Colbert took us on a tour of some unusual Christmas traditions.
Oh, yeah.
I love learning about how different cultures celebrate, and some of these were pretty wild.
Definitely unique, like the Yule cat in Iceland. It's this mythical creature that hunts down anyone who hasn't gotten new clothes before Christmas.
So you better be stylish.
Apparently, it even makes Bork, another Icelandic oddity, seem normal.
Wait, what's Bork?
Well, it's a whole other story. We can dive into that another time. But sticking with Christmas, there's also La Befana in Italy.
La Befana.
Yeah, this gift-giving witch who missed Jesus' birth and now delivers presents as an apology. Colbert joked that she goes, off registry, which I thought was funny.
And then there's the cogatillo in Spain. I still can't believe this one.
The pooping log.
The what?
It's a log that kids beat with sticks until it poops out presents. Colbert compared it to, well, kids banging on bathroom doors to stop their parents from,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, only Colbert could make that connection.
And we can't forget the Mary Lead in Wales.
The horse skull?
Yeah, the one that gets paraded around and serenades people. Colbert even commented on its gorgeous voice.
These traditions, they might seem strange, but they tell us a lot about different cultures.
And they remind us that there are lots of ways to celebrate and find meaning.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's all about seeing the world through different lenses.
Absolutely. So we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive. Government shutdowns, scandals, bird flu, even pooping logs.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to uncover in Colbert's monologue. We'll be back with part 2 after a short break.
Stay tuned. So that cogatillo in Spain.
That pooping log. Yeah, I mean, it's really out there.
It is.
But I guess different cultures,
It's true. Every culture has their own traditions.
Yeah, but a pooping log. What do you think it says about us, as humans?
It's a good question. I think maybe it says something about how we need rituals.
Rituals.
Yeah, and traditions.
Yeah.
We want to connect to something bigger than ourselves, even if that something is a pooping log.
I like that. And I think Colbert does a good job at this, right?
Right.
Making those connections, using humor to bring these weird traditions closer to home.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he makes them relatable, even the absurd ones.
Exactly. So we're not just laughing at the differences.
Right. It's more like we're seeing ourselves in those differences.
Yeah. Okay, but let's get back to something a little less festive.
Less festive.
The Charlotte Hornets, remember?
Oh, right. PS5?
Such a bummer for that kid.
Yeah, you think they would have just let him keep it?
Right. Makes you wonder if anything is real anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I think Colbert was getting at with that cheerleader joke, remember?
The one who's still alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just a show, right? We're so willing to buy into it.
And when it falls apart?
It can be kind of disappointing,
Yeah.
like realizing that Santa isn't real.
Speaking of things that are a little scary, let's talk more about that bird flu situation.
Okay, yeah. We were talking about how it was the first severe case in the U.S.
And how it could become a pandemic?
Yeah. And I think this is important. It wasn't just hype.
Hype.
The media blowing things out of proportion.
No.
Bird flu, it's serious. It could mutate.
Mutate how?
Become easily transmissible between humans.
Oh.
And then we'd have a real problem.
So are we prepared for something like that?
Well, we're definitely doing better than before. There's more research, better vaccines, and early detection systems.
That's good, right?
It is. But it's still a race against time.
We always seem to be playing catch up with these viruses.
It feels that way, yeah.
Okay. Back to politics. Remember what Colbert said about that potential government shutdown?
Yeah.
And Elon Musk?
Oh, right. That he was the
I-
president.
I mean, it was a joke, but it wasn't that far off.
Well, Musk did have a lot of influence back then.
It makes you wonder who's really in charge.
Right. Elected officials or billionaires.
And these tech giants, they have so much power now.
It's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Definitely. Okay, and how about that Matt Gaetz scandal?
The allegations were pretty bad.
Really bad.
And then the ethics committee trying to bury the report.
So shady.
It makes you wonder how much we don't know.
Exactly. It's like, who can we trust?
That's why it's so important to hold people accountable.
Especially our elected officials.
Yeah. No matter what party they belong to, we need a free press, whistleblowers, a system that works.
I think that's what I like about Colbert. He makes you think about these things.
Yeah, he's funny, but he's also...
Smart. And he doesn't let anyone off the hook.
Right. He pushes us to think critically.
I like that. So what do you think? Big takeaways from Colbert's monologue.
Well, first I'd say stay informed.
Informed.
Yeah. Don't tune out, even when it feels like everything's going crazy.
Right.
And don't be afraid to speak up.
Speak up how?
Use your voice like Colbert does. He uses humor to start conversation.
To make people think.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember we're not in this alone.
Not alone.
Yeah. Remember those Christmas traditions we talked about?
The pooping log and all that.
Yeah. They're strange, but they remind us that we're all connected.
Connected how?
We're all human. We all want the same things. Connection meaning,
I like that. So even when things are tough, we can still find
fun with.
those moments of joy, those connections, and maybe even laugh a little along the way.
Maybe even a lot. Because sometimes laughter is the best medicine.
It really is. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our Colbert deep dive.
It's been a journey, hasn't it?
It has, from almost government shutdowns to
Poking logs?
pooping logs, exactly. And Colbert, he finds a way to make it all
Make it all what?
funny.
Oh, yeah, he's a master of that.
Even when he's talking about serious stuff like, pandemics and politics.
He makes you think, but he also makes you laugh.
And I think that's important, right? Because sometimes you just need to laugh. It's like a release.
It is kind of like a pressure valve.
Yeah. If you don't laugh,
You cry.
something like that. But with Colbert, it's not just about laughing it off.
No, it's about finding the humor in the darkness.
Yeah. Recognizing that things are messed up.
But we can still find a way to laugh about it.
And that can help us cope, right?
Definitely. I mean, look, the world is a complicated place.
It is.
And Colbert reminds us that it's okay.
To what?
Embrace the absurdity. Find the humor, even when things are tough.
It's like he's giving us permission to...
Or laugh.
Yeah, to not take ourselves too seriously.
To find joy, even in the midst of chaos.
Exactly. So as we wrap up, what are your final thoughts? What should our listeners take away from all of this?
I think the big thing is to stay engaged.
Engaged with
The world, with what's going on, even when it feels overwhelming.
Right, because it's easy to just tune it all out.
It is. But Colbert shows us that humor can be a powerful tool.
To do what?
To make change. To start conversations. To hold people accountable.
And we can all do that, right?
Absolutely. We all have a voice.
I like that. And it's like those weird Christmas traditions we talked about.
What about them?
They remind us that we're not alone.
We're all connected in some way.
Yeah. Even if our traditions involve...
Pooping logs?
Pooping logs, exactly. So let's all keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep laughing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Colbert's world.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And until next time, keep diving deep.